assessment of what are your reasons to visit, etc. What are we working with? But first, we have to have a benchmark to measure our growth. This is where we stand as of today. You were 22nd out of the 23 counties in visitor spending in 21, and still 22nd in 24. So we want to ramp up our growth, and so that becomes, the word is KP, or the term KPI, key performance indicator. One of the things you're going to measure is, we want to grow your visitor spending faster than your neighbors, and we're going to move you up in rank. And so you'll go from 22nd to 21st to 20th and be off to the races. I was just saying that Crook County has not built a hotel. I started working with them in 2005. They haven't built a hotel since.
They just got a new one in Warcraft.
Finally.
No, is that correct?
Yeah.
That's what we stated.
That's right.
That's-
It's the,
Finally.
on the top of the
lodge.
Right, the lodge.
It's because of competition, not because they're doing anything wrong. But they gotta compete. They're on that interstate highway corridor, and all the hotels are right across the state line. And then you got Gillette on the other side. You had built more hotels and had more growth than Crook County. Does that blow your mind? Okay, it was very smart what economic development did. And I know it may not be going as fast as you want it to, but we're gonna get it going, okay? And we're gonna move you from 22nd to 21st. And so this shows that you're 2.5% of the land area in the state. You're 1.2% of the population, meaning that you have very limited population compared to other areas. You had statewide 8.7 million visitors. Y'all had 53,000, 57,000 of them. So you were growing a little bit. Visitor spending, and that's all calculated in a formula, okay? The state has an economics firm that figures this out. And basically, you've added some jobs from 170 jobs to 210. I mean, y'all build a hotel. How many jobs did y'all create building a hotel?
For sure.
Yeah, well, at least 3 or 4. I mean,
People
It was-
staying, yeah.
In the beginning, it was 6 to 10.
okay.
6 to 10, okay.
There's
There was
10
definitely
jobs.
3 because we
Okay.
interacted with 3 different people.
And then, of course, tax revenue, state and local, is all tourism taxes. And then tax relief is calculated per household. And it's saying if you add up the money that visitors spent on taxes here, the tax revenue, and divided against the households, it saved people that live here that much money in annual taxes because visitors put those taxes into the local coffers.
Visitors pay the taxes instead of you. So that's how it works out for each household.
So again, we're helping the governments if we bring in more visitor spending, because a lot of people think that lodging tax is the tourist tax, but it's just one of the taxes that visitors pay, because they're paying taxes on all the things they do.
And this is how it benefits every resident in Weston County, right?
Okay? All right, now, let's talk about your assets. Now, we're gonna fill out this form, and let's hit escape and get where you can work on this for us. So, in every place, and let's come up here right above attractions and put a new header in there and say attractors. And then, because attractions and museums are things to do, okay? Attractors are the motivator. So, if you were going to Orlando, Disney would be an attractor, maybe Universal Studios, maybe a convention, maybe a team sports tournament, a family event. The attractor is what attracted you to the place, what made you go there.
What got you there.
And then while you're there, you might play wacky golf at one of those little fun places, but you didn't go all the way to Orlando to play wacky golf, okay? So it's the difference between attractors and attractions. So now let's list, what are the attractors that motivate people to come here?
Hunting.
hunting.
Yeah. All the outdoor sports, like I said, we got the trails.
Everything outdoor, trails,
Yeah.
hunting.
You just disconnected.
You got
No,
this.
that was the old one.
Oh, okay.
Sporting events.
Well, we also have others that are, how you say, limited market, which would be like the quilting. Okay, she would bring in a busload or two a year of people that are, do quilts. And they
Okay.
come in and have the quilting bees or sessions, whatever you want to talk.
Okay, so, maybe
You know,
niche activities.
Yeah. Yeah, oh,
Yeah, so
rodeos.
we'll say, example, quilting.
Yeah,
I know
rodeos.
Rodeos.
I know that every community has this, but it's family an attractor.
Not one that you would promote, because you're
You can't
right.
really influence it.
Right.
Weddings, funerals, bring visitors and put heads in beds.
We got car shows.
But it's not something, like, we want more dead, I mean, we
Yeah.
can't promote those, right?
Right.
Don't make an ad that says that.
Right. Bring out your dad, that was a good Monty Python there.
There are car shows that are well worth looking at.
Okay, so let's say events,
Chamber
car
events.
shows. Events, car shows,
Rodeos.
Rodeos.
You know,
because that could be a strategy. If events fill up all the rooms, well, then maybe we need to produce events.
we got rally.
Well, let me ask something about outdoor activities. I mean, we saw the hunting. We saw it at the lodge. Hunters do come in. Do you have mountain bikers come in? Do you have hikers that really come in and say we're gonna hike in this county?
No.
Or ride mountain bike on
There,
these trails?
there
Natural
is
Resource
an
District.
organization,
Ben Sprocket.
Bent Sprockets, and
They're
they
the
will
ones that
bring
come.
some people from other areas in for,
It's Ben Sprockets and the Natural Resource District.
for really hard biking or hiking,
Serious folks.
serious hikers and stuff like that, yeah.
Part of what has been a detriment in Upton as far as the hunting is concerned is so many of the larger ranches and stuff are now doing their own guiding and have their own facilities and stuff, and it has really taken
Yep.
away from the actual
Individual.
communities.
Yep.
And I don't know, I mean, it is something that probably would be worth pursuing.
Right.
Something to bring those individuals that aren't.
So they're
part of
keeping it on the ranch and they're providing the
Right.
lodging and everything.
But private.
Right.
Privately.
For a big price.
But are they
Big price.
But the
collecting
little
money
guys-
on it? I mean,
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
if people are paying to do it, are they submitting bed tax?
There's
No.
a weird
No.
Wyoming law.
Because it's kind of like Airbnb, but
Well, Airbnb pays
they
lodging
have to
tax.
pay rent.
It used to be.
There's a weird
different.
law that they fight all the time in the legislature with these hunting outfitters.
Yeah.
But it used to be huge, probably even 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And
Well,
as far as game licensing and that kind of stuff too, it was huge.
Well, it's gotten bigger, I believe, because myself as a hunter, I'm finding less and less places to go hunt.
Right,
They will not
Yes.
let you on the land
right,
anymore.
right. So
So,
it's,
yeah, it's still going good
And
business.
Best damn cookie of.
Right?
Oh my gosh, this cookie would motivate a visit.
And their donuts. That's
And you know what, I'm being kind of silly, but if any of y'all been to the bread doctor in Torrington,
Yes.
the bread doctor was, you want to tell the story, Amy? It's a hell of a story.
So the bread doctor, he's an actual doctor, an emergency room family doctor in Torrington. His youngest daughter has Down syndromes, and so he wanted to have some place for her to belong and to be a part
That's
of.
insane.
And so he always had an interest in baking and kind of did some baking, and he went on to take these baking classes, and he's one of the top French pastry people in the United States. And he's open Thursday, Friday, Saturday is all. When you show up, there's always a line out the door. Like, it sells out. I mean, they post different specials.
And I mean, it is like you're in Paris, France. It is the fanciest baked goods you've ever seen.
There's
What town, Torrington?
in Torrington.
Torrington.
And
Right
there's
there
some
downtown.
lady, I can't remember her name, but she is a famous French baker, and she will come in and work with him.
commercial kitchen, or how did they do it?
He has a storefront on Main Street.
It's a full-on business.
Yeah.
Was a
He does
a bakery.
soups and sandwiches. Oh my gosh, his pizzas, if you just happen to be there on the day he does the pizzas. My husband was like going carb free, and I was like, oh, I really want a pizza. And I had to be up there for a work event, so I got to dictate what we did. I went into the rodeo. I had a slice of pizza. I went into the rodeo for a few minutes, came back out, gone. And he is like,
They do at
People
Easter, they do
travel.
hand-painted Easter cookies. At Christmas, they do
I'm
Christmas.
one of
It's
those people.
Yeah.
over the top, fancy. In what town is the Matizzi Chocolatier?
It's this Upton.
Weird.
Little town, South Dakota, the Matizzi Chocolatier's there. So the Matizzi Chocolatier was a rodeo cowboy who didn't have the money to buy his equipment, and so he learned from his
Yeah, his
grandmother.
grandma's like, hold a bake sale, and he was like, hell no, I'm not gonna sell baked goods to cowboys.
It goes over good.
And now
Well,
he's world
he
famous.
is now a world famous chocolatier. It's in Matizzi, and you can go to the website and stuff. And this cowboy is the Matizzi Chocolatier, and he's kind of a celebrity and puts the town of Matizzi on the map.
This is something you guys discussed with us at our first meeting about the bread doctor and kind of focusing on something like that. And Joe's Donuts was the first thing that came to my mind. I mean,
There you go.
cookies.
Farson, Wyoming is another place. There is nothing in
There's
Farson,
stuff for an
Wyoming.
ice cream
Ice
cone
And-
in
Oh,
Farson.
yes.
Stuff.
And
it's-
you're buying the stuff. It's not even homemade.
Yeah, and everybody's like, oh, they have the best homemade ice cream. And I'm like, I kind of hate to be the spoiler on this, but it's not.
Homemade.
It's Meadow Gold or something. But the line, there's always a line. And so, and I was, even this weekend, I was like, okay, if I leave my house at 8 o'clock, I could be in Torrington by 9:30, out of the bread doctor by 10:30. I'm in home by noon, get ready for kickoff at 1:30. I mean, because he had on his website strawberry rhubarb ham pies. Like I was willing to drive 3 hours for a pie this big.
I was just in, last week I was in Corinth, Mississippi. They are geographically in Mississippi the exact same location that you are. They're just off of they don't have an interstate highway that passes through. They're on a US highway. They're 30 minutes to Shiloh National Military Park, you know, kind of near Devil's Tower or Mount Rushmore kind of thing. They're way up in the corner of the state, off the beaten path. They have built all kinds of great restaurants and shopping and got all these unique things to visit, but they haven't built a new hotel in 20 years. And the problem is, if you're going there for really high-end, nice shopping, I mean, they've got great shopping and great dining. Do you want to stay in an old rundown motel? You've got new motels that are nice and clean. The bed we stayed in last night was fabulous. I mean, I'd promote that bed. I mean, it was a great night's sleep. We all enjoyed the hotel very much, great service and everything. So suddenly, all we got to do is add in some destination dining, destination shopping. Have y'all heard of Pitchfork Barbecue?
Fondue.
We're Fondue.
Pitchfork fondue.
Where is it?
Pinedale.
Pinedale. I mean, they cook ribeye steaks on pitchforks. I mean, you know, it's. Give them a unique experience. It doesn't, we're not talking white tablecloth and fine dining here, you know? Somewhere, I remember our first trip to Wyoming, there was a big, huge red barn that was selling pizza. And it was like, that could be like the world's most fabulous steakhouse. The problem is people in Wyoming aren't looking for a good steak, right? Because you've all got a freezer full of it and you're sick of it. But visitors sure are, right? I mean, they didn't come here because you've got great Thai food.
Yeah.
I mean, they came here to get a steak in cowboy country and Western themed and the whole bit. And that's why we were enchanted yesterday at Cambria. I mean, have you been through the lodge and everything, you know? And I was kind of, when they said it, oh, it used to be an Italian steakhouse. I was like, Italian steakhouse?
That's because the owners were Italian.
Oh, okay, well, you
But it
know.
used to be the place to go in Weston County.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was.
yeah, I mean, that would be destination dining in that ballroom upstairs. I mean,
beautiful.
And that's where one of our ideas for you guys, and just keep this in mind, we got to add it in here in our recommendations, is y'all need to have somebody who is the designated film commissioner. I mean, it's not necessarily a paid role, but it's somebody that when the state film commissioner is looking for locations where they film movies, because you make a lot of money when they come to town and film a movie, because they're gonna pay a restaurant to cater, and they're gonna pay for a lot of hotel rooms, and they're gonna film certain scenes or whatever. And then, once you're the location where they film the movie, then, I mean, I've got towns that like where they filmed Dirty Dancing or Last of the Mohicans in the 1990s, and they still have tourism every day of people coming to see where he held her up in the water in Dirty Dancing, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's crazy.
The Yellowstone TV series in Montana.
So the state has a film commissioner, but you have to have somebody in this county. You don't now? Don't have a designated film
No,
commissioner?
but if you want to get involved in the film industry, we have a guy we can connect you with.
Okay, and that's where you have to know what film scouts are looking for in terms of the type of photography and everything.
Good
Your
photography
sites.
to help sell what you've got. And that facility there is so unique.
I want to throw Oktoberfest there.
Right? It's perfect.
I think that would be the
That
most
Tudor
exciting
style.
Oktoberfest. Oh my gosh.
It looks like it's in Germany.
It does.
Yeah.
I actually, when I walked in the ballroom, I started singing the Gaston song from Beauty and the Beast.
Well, and even at your museums, I mean, the sod house and stuff, you know? I mean, they could film a sod house scene in there and not have to go build their own sod house. So, it's an opportunity. Okay, so attractors are really, it's the out of doors, right? And I think it's also the highway. I mean, the fact is you're on a drive route. I mean, that's it. People are coming. I mean,
They are.
right now, while we've been here, people have been driving past, right? So the highway's the drive route. And so taking advantage of that, that's the river of money. Those are the things that are bringing people here. Oh, we missed one. Business. People that come here, I mean, who's staying in the hotels right now? It's not necessarily leisure. A lot of hotel rooms are filled by oil and gas people,
That
The
are
park
rare
across the
element
street.
resources.
rare
Yeah.
elements. And so let's put that down. Let's put business and do oil, gas, or energy. Energy, rare elements, ag,
Railroad.
Railroad, yeah.
and the railroad. And so all of those have the opportunity, because you've seen the commercial where, you know, the person leaves the town and it's like, oh my word, I don't ever want to come back to this hellhole again, versus the business traveler who goes, oh my God, I just spent 3 nights in this little place and the food's amazing and the people are friendly and the hotel was great, and you know,
I found Joe's Donuts.
they become ambassadors for you, okay? And so that, making sure we take insanely good care of our business travelers is a strategy. Because they become what we call the first tier referral network, who go forth into the world saying, I love going to do business there. Okay? Okay, so the attractions and museums, these are all proper nouns. I mean, these are things you do. Wild game viewing, I would actually put as an attractor, because that's a broader audience, because anybody can do that, right? And it's just, that could be signage telling you where you can go do wild game viewing. But the Dogie Theater, Newcastle Country Club and Golf Course, Anna Miller Museum, the Red Onion Museum, Historic Antlers Building.
Well, all of downtown Newcastle is a historic district.
Okay, so let's put downtown Newcastle Historic District.
Upton, Old Town.
Upton Old Town?
Yeah.
Our golf course. Both golf courses. I would imagine.
Yeah, you could, we've got Newcastle Country Club and Golf
Oh, you
Course
do,
up
yeah.
there, yeah.
Yeah, you see
Is
your
it-
pines.
Cedar Pines, that's it.
Now, here's the painful question. Destination golf is like long pars, challenging courses in good conditions. There any golfers in the room? Would you travel and spend the night here to play these courses?
Probably not.
Devil's
they're-
Tower is the closest.
They're
gonna
local,
say,
they're
they're
local
private.
places.
They're private,
But
yeah.
they're private.
Isn't
That's
it?
challenge.
Don't people
Okay.
Oh, they're
live
both
in
private?
those?
Devil's
No,
Tower is
Devil's
private.
Oh, right.
Oh,
It's not, it's
That's
not.
where we had dinner.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Nobody travels to play a 9-hole course. They want a championship
Right.
level. If they're gonna pay money,
They'll pay money.
they wanna pay money for a good challenge, not just to.
Well,
go up.
golfers will travel to multiple golf courses in a week-long trip, right? But they all have to meet a certain criteria
Caliber.
Yeah,
of what they
and
need
they
to
have to
be.
have clubhouses,
Yep.
and they have to,
There is an expectation that comes along with that very specific idea.
Well,
Upton's golf
now-
course just got on the list of, it's a list of 10,
the circuit.
circuit in the area.
Right.
So Upton was able to get on that list this year.
And they are trying to get it onto the app where, I can't remember what it was called, do you remember?
I can't remember.
But if they're in the area, it'll say, hey, there's a golf course near
Yep.
you, go check it out. So they are trying to get on that, and the people running it right now have tried to put a lot of work into it to update it and make it a place that people
Sometimes these country clubs and golf courses, the food, the view, the meeting location in the clubhouse is more of a visitor draw than the golf course itself. And you can promote it for their event facilities, doing weddings and reunions, if they've got a nice ballroom or event facility, anything like that.
They could improve that.
The little
Yeah.
golf course in Evanston, they made $120,000 more this year than they did last year. And it's just pulling people out of Utah where they can get on the course. It's a nice course and they can get on and play.
I've always, my opinion out here, and I was one of the founding members of the golf course out here, my opinion has always been for years that it should be advertised and promoted as a beginner's golf course. People
Okay.
that are learning to golf would be welcome here, would be
Okay.
able to do it, but I can't get it to do it.
And there is that stigma, I mean, not to get too far in the weeds here, but there is a stigma of established golfers, beginner golfers, where does
Right.
someone learn to golf versus play golf?
Yeah.
And there are what I would call studi golf courses that they aren't welcoming to bad
Hackers.
golfers, right? And
The
so,
beginners.
yeah,
I mean, people
They
my
don't wanna
age that
waste
are
their
retired,
time
they wanna
being
learn
out
how
there.
to golf, but they can't
Now,
golf.
are these golf courses good for, because like the famous Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail in Alabama, you go through those parking lots, it's not BMWs, it's pickup trucks. I mean, golf has become very much a middle America sport, and so it could be a lot of your business travelers want to go hit a 9-hole golf course at 5 o'clock
And they can get on it.
get in 9 holes, and you can get on it.
Yeah.
So there you go. So we may have found ways to make use of those. Now, if you have decent and consistent snow in the wintertime, I've seen a lot of areas that take their golf courses and make them cross-country ski courses because you stay on the path and you put poles and you have a pro shop that's running and selling food and people go there and they rent them the cross-country skis and it's a nice long 18-hole undulating terrain and they stay on the cart path so they do no damage to the course.
Well, this last week,
They go out and they.
Yeah.
it reminds me of the Newcastle Country Club.
Yeah.
It just hosted the regional cross country, and I mean we had hundreds of kids out there and bus
Running
after
the
bus
trails,
after bus
right.
after bus.
Running
They
the
were
cart
running the
paths.
trails exactly. They were running the perimeter of it. It was a 3.5 mile run, but it wasn't golf.
Yes. There you go. So sometimes it's not the obvious thing. It's figuring out the extension of it.
We also in Upton have a huge gun club for kids, a youth program for the hunters, and they have, every year, don't they hold a state YHEC meet out here in Upton?
They had the national one here
Yeah.
last year.
All right, so
And your guys'
guns are
park
iconic
is
to
beautiful.
America. They are certainly iconic to the American West. I was down in where do all the astronauts go? Cocoa Beach. They have the Astronaut Hall of Fame there in Cocoa Beach, Florida, where they have all the famous astronauts immortalized and everything. Right across the street is the American Law Enforcement Hall of Fame. Now, most tourists would have no interest in that whatsoever. I watched motor coaches pull up, and they're all going in the Astronaut Hall of Fame, and I watched all the European people coming off the motor coaches.
Go to the guns.
Because on the side of the Hall of Fame for law enforcement, there was just a little door, and it said shooting range. And all those Europeans who've never held a gun before were like, yeehaw, we're in America, what could be more American? And so I walked in there, and the place is busy. They probably had 20 different lanes or whatever you call it. They had a whole display case. They had the Dirty Harry gun. They had all the famous American guns. You could pick the gun, and they were all at upcharges to use those guns. And they had all the different targets. You could shoot at a cowboy, a gangster, whatever. And they were making tourism money like mad at a shooting range.
You can check a place like that out in Cody. It's called the Cody Firearm Experience. And they have guns from every generation, including a Gatlin. You can shoot a Gatlin.
Oh, gosh, I want to do
And do you
that.
see how if you're building an outdoor experience, shooting is a big part of outdoors. And so layering in shooting to the outdoor experience is actually more on brand than golf.
On our gun range here in towns.
But you know, the question that I have, and I know it's something that plagues these small towns, is the insurance factor. You know, how do we,
Yep. No,
NRA.
not anymore. Not anymore, because you can go to any town in America and there's a bar where you can get drunk and throw axes.
You cannot fix Washington, D.C. from within Washington, D.C. You have to fix it from the outside. It has to be citizen uprising. And the only way you can do it is through an Article 5 convention. There are lots of other ideas that people throw out there that aren't in the Constitution necessarily. This is a peaceful, legal, constitutional method for reining in the federal government, which, like I said earlier, is the responsibility of the states. That's one of their roles, and they've abdicated that responsibility horribly. Our founders would be appalled that we're thinking of solutions other than an Article 5 convention, because that's the process they put in for this purpose.
Axe throwing is a thing.
It is.
And I'm like, if they can get insurance for throwing axes in a bar, you can insure anything, you know?
I wonder if they have
In
it.
fact, Darren and I were doing a project up in Great Falls, Montana, and their tourism board had the #1 insurance agent in town on their board. And that was his role on the board, was the minute somebody said, you can't get insurance for that, he was like, I'll get it for you. And they have this get her done attitude, and he's like, I'll cut through any red tape. If it'll grow our tourism, I'll get the insurance for it.
Basically, they have the Missouri River, big river through
Yeah.
Great Falls, and we were talking about you have to have boat access to the river because they don't really have any activity. And someone in the meeting said, we can never have insurance, they'll say no. And
He jumped in, he's like, yes, you can.
yes, you can. And the city of Great Falls is renting kayaks out of a kiosk. Basically, you swipe your credit card, take a kayak out of a giant rack, and you putz around the river, put it back in, and you're off and running out of an app.
Your own volition, your own liability.
Well, you sign it off when you sign off your liability, but they have figured out a way to cover it with insurance and make it legal.
Okay.
Whereas a tourism person in the room said,
Yeah.
there's no way.
And thank
And
you
they're
for
doing
saying
it.
that, because it's important to understand that, now you can do anything.
You can
Yeah.
find someone that's willing to insure it.
Insurance.
Do they really?
Yeah, they helped out Newcastle's gun range with insurance. And building the indoor range, which is just 22s, that's it.
Because remember,
And they use
like,
them, so.
Top Golf, have you seen a Top Golf?
yeah.
That is not golf. That is golf-based
That's a party.
entertainment.
Bingo,
Okay.
good point.
Well, so it's the same thing for the travelers.
The WWE
It's like,
of
if
golf.
somebody from Colorado or Utah comes up here in their Subaru with their own bicycles and coolers full of food and a tent, you don't really make any money off of that visitor. We need the visitor that'll stay in a hotel, that will rent a tent from you, that'll rent a bike from you, that'll rent guns and pay. That's where we are an economic development organization. And so we want to bring people here who spend money. So access to trails and all means, can we rent them a bike and the helmet and the pads and, you know, and the box lunch to take on the trail.
Side-by-sides.
Okay?
Snowmobiles in the winter.
Yes, yes, yes. We want to monetize the experience. And then we drive the money up, and then the agency has more money to work with, and we have more money to work with, and the hotels are full, and economic development can get their investment out of that hotel, and everybody's happy, right? Okay. Have we missed anything else that are possible attractions?
Gun ranges on there?
Gun ranges
Yes.
and archery. We got that 3D archery shoot. That's a big event, comes every year.
Go to South Dakota, Yankton, South Dakota. One man in Yankton, before all they could say is they were Tom Brokaw's birthplace. But now, Yankton, way down there in the far corner of the state, one man went to the industrial park that was not doing very well. He took a giant metal building with a concrete floor, and he was into archery, and he just declared it to be the official United States Archery Center.
We have an archery range in
It's
Newcastle.
incredible. When I was there was a
Indoor.
man from Germany who had spent $20,000 on a custom bow that they had made, and he was there at their Best Western for 2 weeks to learn how to use the $20,000 bow. So that town, just off of that man, cleared an easy 30 grand because of that archery center. And that was off of one German that came here. They come from all over the world for archery, huge. And archery is a whole family sport. Mom,
Yeah,
Dad,
it
everybody.
is.
Yeah.
And they come from other states that surround us for this thing.
So what we've got now is attractors and attractions, but the common theme is outdoors.
Yeah.
Okay? It's active outdoor experiences getting out there. Okay? It's not passive. It's all very active and engaging. We've got a few event facilities listed. What was the town you kept saying a minute ago that's halfway between two?
Okay.
Osage.
Osage. Do we need to put them on there? Are they gonna have hurt feelings? Okay. All right, and then we've got our major highways that are.
Yeah, for the event facilities, what about the community center?
The Upton Community Center.
And the
Okay.
hotel also has a conference room / breakfast room that they do convert into party spaces for people if they want it.
Here.
Yeah.
Yes.
This hotel, okay.
Same type of thing with the
Yeah,
Newcastle
got the
event.
convention
Okay.
center. So there's two.
And we can reformat all that. Yeah. Okay, so now we've listed all of your lodging. So I don't think we've missed anything on lodging, bed and breakfast inns, campgrounds, vacation rentals. Those were all things that we were finding online. Because those are basically our revenue collectors.
Okay, well,
This one I think you need to take
Super
off.
8.
Is it the Sage or the Hilltop?
Hilltop is not doing much.
okay, yeah, Hilltop was bought out by
Sages.
the lodge so they can house their own people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's now
Yeah.
employee housing?
Yeah,
It's
well,
Super
because
8.
they're needed to bring in
No,
people from out of
Super 8
town.
is the Fountain Inn.
They got rid of
And
their
that
big
is a
slide
trend.
in front of it.
Yeah.
That was our big marker when we were kids. We'd see the big slide in front of the
Fountain is
fountain.
no more, that's
Really?
Hotel 8 or.
Right.
That's what, is it Super 8 or?
Super
Fountain
8.
Inn?
Super 8.
Yeah.
I don't know if this goes under attractions, but our school system's known for its innovative learning system.
Yeah.
And we've had Business Insider here this year to interview the high school principal. We constantly have schools from other counties coming to visit and speak with the superintendent and other teachers and just see what Upton's doing because we're far ahead in the state. And they stay at the
Personalized
hotel,
learning.
but yeah.
But that's not something you can promote, but you've already given me a whole nother strategy because we're going to be definitely talking about workforce and workforce development is one of the challenges y'all have to take on. And that is all about working with local schools. A lot of towns want to go higher education, and we don't need college-educated people to work in bars, restaurants, and clean hotel rooms. We need high school kids that can fill out an application that are literate.
And can count money.
There's
Yes.
one thing I know that, at least in Newcastle, we've had trouble with, is these kids, they get out of high school and they move and they don't come back.
Right,
Wyoming has that.
Brain
Starting
drain.
Wyoming.
Yeah.
is-
The brain.
right. Okay, we're gonna come back to all that. We got some,
The numbers show that.
yep, we got everything there. Okay, let's go to the next page. Okay, so experiences and activities, hunting, ATV,
Similar to
hiking,
that,
cycling, we've got all those things. Motivational hooks, that's your outdoor activities, mining history. I think Ghost Town, I think Ghost Town.
Dark tourism is a
I mean, that's-
billion-dollar business now.
Ghost
Yeah, boy,
tourism.
I
Well,
wish-
it's called
Yeah.
dark tourism.
Dark
but
tourism,
that
yeah.
haunting stuff gets.
Yeah,
I wanna
think
know how you got
just that,
into
again,
Cambridge.
anybody coming from
We
the
just
east
stopped.
or out of the
We just saw cars
country,
there,
Oh,
so we
you
stopped.
just went to
which
the
normally
lodge
international
itself.
would not be a market for a
Up in the
little
hills
place
above.
like
I've been to
this.
their
But when you've got
cemetery,
Yellowstone
not
and
Cambridge.
all these iconic things, yeah, you can have visitors
And I
from all
wanna
over
see
the
that
world.
so
Well, I
bad.
know one year as a travel commission, we paid for plaques in the cemetery because there was some shady characters in the cemetery.
Right.
And so it got onto a cemetery tour thing.
Yes,
Up at Cambria itself, right?
Well, no, this is just right there in Newcastle
Oh, okay.
Cemetery.
yeah.
Yeah, because even at
What
the
was it?
museum, it talks about these people are buried
Yeah.
all over the country.
Oh, there's a town in Mississippi where they have volunteers dress up as people in the cemetery and like Halloween week.
They get-
They do a whole week of events where it's,
That'd be
they have
so
a
cool.
band in the cemetery and.
Buffalo does that in their
Yeah,
cemetery. And then
it's-
have you guys ever seen the Sundance Sip and Walk? They do, I think it's in July or August, they just do it for a month or two, and it's on Wednesday nights. They meet at the town gazebo, and the adults get a beverage, and the kids get a beverage, and they go around and meet like the Sundance Kid and like different people
Cool.
from the community.
Well, and Weston County has got a history like that. I mean, it's
Okay.
like,
Teddy Roosevelt was out
Yeah.
in Newcastle speaking one time.
Teddy Roosevelt was everywhere in Wyoming though.
He was.
Yeah, the one place he was not was Washington. Okay,
It's like
tourism
Glenwood
promotion,
too,
we
he
got
was
the
everywhere.
Weston County Travel
Everywhere.
Commission, you can just read through and tell us if we're missing anything. There's the
Is that
website.
accurate?
Are we 5 board or 6? 5 person?
Six. No, it was 6.
2 from each of
Feels
the
weird having
joint
it at
powers.
number 4.
Is that how you do it? 2 county, 2 Upton, 2 Weston?
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, just put 2, 2, and 2, and I'll write that in there. Or 2 from each funding jurisdiction.
2 from each joint power.
Yeah, from each, yeah. Okay, Weston County voters approved the local lodging tax in '24. The tax will be back up for renewal in November 28. To my knowledge, and I've worked in 36 states, you're the only state where voters, where this goes to voter referendum, where they're voting on a tax that they don't pay.
How did the tax do last time? What was the percentage?
I think it was pretty good. I
Yeah.
don't
Over
remember the
60?
percentage, but
It wasn't as
surprised
much
me.
the last election as it
No, but I was expecting it to fail.
Was it
yeah, I did
Yeah,
too.
it was, there's times where we expected it to fail.
55 to 60% range? Somewhere in there?
It was
I don't think it was
close.
that close. But
Oh.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah.
Do you know the
Closer than
hard
it's
part?
been.
The
All
hard
right,
part
so
for
we need to
all of
have
us is educating the
local
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
strategy.
If it fails,
Well,
we'll go
that's
away.
exactly
You know.
right.
Well,
Yeah.
we
They
still
don't
have 2%.
understand what it is.
Well, we'll go down
From
to
the
2%, then we cut everybody back. And then, because we've told them before, says,
Yeah.
our money is limited, all right? And we don't expect an increase in the future.
Well, and again,
Yeah.
it's not money that Weston County residents are paying.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that's the key, education.
exactly.
We'll probably have a decent in-state case study about what happens when you vote out your lodging tax pretty soon.
We're kind of big believers in doing an annual report that just kind of says, this is what we have brought to the table and how we've made it. Because if you wait until you're doing a campaign a month before the election, it's too late. And so it's like, you want the sentiment to be that we really
It
appreciate
could
what
be,
this
it's
is
just, and
doing.
it's just a one pager that just says what you did, and every year you get it in the hands of residents.
It's something you get
One
your
of the
agency
problems
to
we
do for
had was with the voting thing, was before that, Wyoming University had a tourism class, and they sent out classmates and teams, to evaluate. The kids that came through here evaluated us, and they didn't talk to the right people. It was a very bad write-up, all right? And certain people keyed on that, saying, see, we don't need this tax, and some of those certain people had a motel, didn't want to pay the tax. So it came a full circle, and we got a lot of flack for that. I even talked to the teacher on the phone. She says, oh, yeah, well, those kids had struggled with that class.
You remember who the teacher was?
McCoy. They worked with us.
McCoy, yeah.
It was right ahead of the destination development.
Yeah, and we caught a lot of flack for that, and they did a very bad report on us.
Okay.
But that was part of the reason I think we're having problems at the voting polls.
The bottom line is you just have to have a constant education effort to reach out to your residents, to go to any public speaking opportunity you have, any
And that-
civic club, just every
does
year,
that happen?
every year. Every year, you just gotta keep up the message.
All right, your mission is stated currently as to provide for the promotion of travel and tourism to Weston County, from local events to beautification. The Weston County Travel Commission works to build the tourism industry in Weston County for the benefit of all citizens. A little wordy, but not bad. And it's just, we like to see one that people can, because what's key in there is we build a tourism industry for the benefit of all citizens. That's the goal in that statement, is you're doing it for the local people. This is economic development so that everybody's got a job and.
You're not working for the greedy hotels. You're working for the benefit of the citizens.
Some of our citizens don't believe it.
Let's go on down.
That's everywhere.
And I'm gonna show y'all
Well, they
a
hear
draft
tax
of
and
what
panic.
we started putting together for your plan. All right, first go back one slide, there you go. So, the difference between strategic and tactical. And strategic is we want to keep a board focused on strategic and the agency's focused on tactical, okay? So you're saying what you want to accomplish and the agency shows you how to do it.
You're not
Okay.
arguing about what color the ad is.
Yeah.
Right,
He's done
y'all
all
should
that.
never be telling the agency, well, we don't like yellow, we like red, or we, I mean, the agency uses research and market intelligence to determine what font and all that kind of stuff. And y'all are just there as oversight, but you shouldn't micromanage the ad agency. They're the experts and you pay them for their expertise.
They need
okay?
to know what they want to do. The
Right.
agency shows them how.
But here's the important part is, if the agency ever pitches something to you and y'all are thinking, that's not us and our citizens are gonna hate that, you better speak up. Because that will eat you alive at voting time. And if it never happens with this one, but sometimes an agency can miss, and sometimes there's that creative person in the agency that's just get a little too creative and it just, this happened years ago in Montgomery, Alabama, where the agency did something straight from the research, and when we presented it to the mayor, he said, our citizens will eat us alive, you can't do that. And it was because the visitors saw how much they had progressed, and the visitors thought it was really a cool place. And their whole campaign was capital cool, because usually state capital cities are not cool. And it would have worked for visitors, but the mayor, who was a car dealer, was really astute. And he just said, our citizens don't think we're cool. And he said, if you run that campaign, our citizens will eat us alive. And he said, I need to take money, and for 6 months, I need to convince our citizens how much we have become cool. And he said, I need to do an internal campaign and then you'll be ready to do your external campaign.
I'd
Very
like,
smart.
I'd like to see that too, because
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Upton, but I know about Newcastle.
Correct.
We got a lot of people just don't
I'll
care about
push that,
us.
yeah.
Right. Your agency knows
Yeah.
the trends, visitor patterns, all this kind of stuff, but y'all know the residents here. Okay? So we're keeping you strategic and then the agency handles the tactical. Okay? So y'all are gonna say, this is where we wanna go, and then it's up to the agency to figure out how to get you there. All right? So, this is the draft that we're gonna finish up in the next day or two, that it's basically, we're stating who you are. We've already talked about this, the structure, how y'all are gonna have the vision for where we're going, what the board focuses on, and in this case, staff is gonna get rewritten to be agency and future staff.
Agency and future staff.
Yeah, is focused on doing the marketing. Yeah, you could just put in there,
Yeah, but
agency
we gotta
slash
get up
staff.
to a certain money mark before we can
Yeah.
do something.
Correct.
200.
Correct. And everything in this is gonna be focused on heads and beds to get you to the money mark, okay?
The wind. It's the wind.
So if we can get you to $200,000, y'all can afford an employee.
Part-time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Depends on what you can find and what the market will bear,
Can,
okay?
can I ask this? Can we? No. As an employee,
Use that
part-time.
quota.
Hey, they tell me what to do all the time.
Yeah.
Can we combine and put them in an office, say, with the chamber or with another entity? Or
I've
do we need
rarely
to-
seen that succeed because they have two different missions. And the
That's true.
chamber's mission's this way and your mission's this way,
And
and
I
that
would
rarely
want to be an
works.
Upton resident and see that happen.
Correct.
Guess they gotta live in Osage.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you would recommend that it would be just totally separate office, totally separate venue
Yeah.
with the whole thing?
Because you're tax funded, their membership funded. It's just two different things
Okay.
altogether. Yeah,
I just wondered how to structure it.
correct.
And again, the membership thing really hurts sometimes because
Just be.
when you're combined, you have to represent everybody. The chamber is representing members. So even in the lobby of the chamber where your staff person is, you will want to put a brochure for everybody. And the chamber, that's a conflict. The chamber can't do that because they can only put their members. So you can work around it, but there's so many inherent challenges like that.
Well, I got all sorts of information that we have. We got,
Don't pay $50,000 a year
like,
for
I
something.
think it was 5 or 6, I forgot, our own
Don't have to be closer to
information
70.
stands in motels that we stock.
Yeah.
Okay, and same thing in our chamber, and I'm not sure about here though, I don't think here.
I didn't hear you
Yeah.
say.
With our information that we print out, you guys have it in your chamber, like the maps and the brochures?
Yeah, and it's all
Okay.
at the hotel.
The chamber doesn't have an office.
We don't have an
here,
office, but we put everything out of the hotel.
Now,
So-
there
And it's out
are
of the
lodging
tax
tax boards, like Fremont County rents an office space at the chamber, the Lander. So Fremont County rents at the Lander
Uh-huh.
chamber. So theirs is upstairs, and then the chamber's downstairs. And within that agreement, they're able to promote the destination, but they're still separate. So
Yeah,
but that's who had the space for them
And
to
then
have.
the staff would be a separate individual from the board as well, right? Like.
Yeah, the staff's
should
upstairs.
not be-
They're never
No, the
down
staff
there.
members on a board.
Right.
See, that'd be good, because I have information pamphlets stored at both museums, I mean, cases, stuff, that, that can be
Yeah,
distributed out in the
office
heart.
You can almost look at it this way.
And we
A
can combine
staff
all that
person for your organization is focused on how to get people to come here, and the chambers are focused on their members and what to do once people get here.
Yeah.
And it's
And
completely
coordinating with our
different.
agency.
And you
Correct.
wouldn't have an open office per se. It would be
Nope, yeah.
a storage telephone type thing. It wouldn't be.
That's right.
Have we shared with you the report that was done on Weston County? And it had the salary and the housing report and everything on that.
From the Wyoming Business Alliance.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, no, that'd be a good thing for us to
So that was
see.
done this summer.
Fantastic.
And it had some really interesting statistics.
Love
on it,
to
and
see
it showed
that.
that we're, as a county, we are performing well, but
Good.
obviously tourism, that's opposite.
It was
Good.
an economic forecast.
Yeah.
So they were,
Fantastic.
it was predictions, but it was reason for optimism.
Yeah.
So Mayor, where do you stand on workforce? Like, what was the sum total of it? You don't have enough, or you?
I know this.
We have enough, but the opportunities for them to work, unemployment is great in Weston County because everybody that wants to work can get a job. But that's not to say that there's not a lot of people that aren't working and contributing. They just aren't seeking, they aren't looking for work.
Not the workforce.
Yeah.
Right.
So as with everywhere in Wyoming, our issue is housing, to house staff.
Housing, childcare.
Yeah. It's a killer. I mean, we
Transportation,
brought in developers from.
When you told us that one of the hotels is now workforce housing, that kind of answered everything for me right there.
Yeah.
Well, there's also, like she brought up earlier, it's very limited what we can build, where we can build. The natural gas line coming into town is maxed out in Newcastle, so they're not adding any new meters. So it's things like this that I guess hasn't caught up to our county yet.
And that one motel that was sold there, the person who owned it, her husband died, and a lot of the oomph of life kind of drained out of her, and she kind of wanted to move back to where she had come from, as far as San Francisco area. So there is that involved in that as well.
Right.
But yeah, it can be a problem in this area as far as where do you house these people?
Right. Okay. All
Like
right, so now
RER,
let's get
it's
a look
gonna
at
build.
our structure
It's gonna
for
grow.
our plan,
Got
which is
housing.
in the next couple of slides. That we always, as a rule, the number one marketing recommendation or strategic initiative is always marketing. It's just that. I mean, but in your case, because there's marketing external, how we promote outside. Marketing internal is how do we move people around in the destination, and how do we make sure residents appreciate us? Because remember, residents are your constituent because they vote for you every 4 years, and as you saw in Gillette, they can vote you out, and it's happened twice in Gillette. So they are a constituent just like a visitor, and so that's marketing external and internal. But in your case, we're putting structure and funding first because we need to get your funding up to get a staff person. And that's what'll really get you guys to take off and run, okay? And so that's the first thing we're showing is that you gotta focus on your structure and funding, and then marketing external and marketing internal, okay? So as we look at marketing external, and those are just some placeholders we put in there, and you said earlier that your main channels are web, and digital. Is anybody paying attention to social channels?
Yeah, we run there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're running it for me.
Yeah.
All right. So, but see, and this is where staffing comes in because they're running social from outside of the county.
Right.
And true social media is somebody that drives down the road and says, oh, look, the donut place is doing a special today, and they can post about it. And so for them to really nail social, somebody's got to be feeding them content.
Yeah, and there's two broad ways to look at social media from our perspective. Is there's like the broader emotional exterior audience that you're trying to reach, but there's the real-time social media it's a documentary style. That's where the challenge is that we're talking about with the volunteer organization is how do we get that logistically, that piece? There's a gap there.
Because hearing a week later that something really cool happened, that you could have made good content, that's not where you want to be, right?
And I do have access to the Facebook account, and when either chambers are doing something that I know the Travel Commission has sponsored or given money to, I will share it to our page. But one of the problems with that is that I guess I don't know how to say this. When a website company is running your social media, their posts have a flow to them and they have a certain look to them. So when you're just sharing whatever from something else, it disrupts the page and the visibility of it.
Yeah.
That's why I'd like to work directly with you to say, okay,
Yeah.
here's what's going on. How do we as an agency craft a message that is in line with the brand and everything stays consistent? And
Yeah.
Will you give us the content for this on marketing external and internal, just like these are the channels we're focused
Yeah,
on?
3 bullets.
And then add in those words for partnership with Chamber on social channels and we just need a few bullets to fill this out.
to just type them in right now, that's what you're saying?
Or we can
send
get
them.
it from you later.
Okay, yes.
Send already.
Yeah.
In addition to the weekly printed version of the newsletter journal, we also promote our community and share important information on our award-winning website, newslj.com, and in our weekly email newsletter, Nuke Now. We also connect with readers through various social media platforms and invite you to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can even take a look at a recent meeting of the City Council, School Board, or County Commission on our YouTube channel. We do hope that you will go to newslj.com and subscribe today, and we look forward to making all of our great content available to you. But regardless of your level of support, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for doing your part to preserve a free and independent local press.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, there's no point in me writing what you're doing, you know?
Right.
You tell us what you're doing, because you're getting good bang for the buck right now, right? And so we just need to put that in there,
Yep.
okay?
Yep.
And not rethink. Is there anything on the cutting room floor you need us to add in? Is there anything that we need to put, because this is gonna be a 3 to 5 year plan. It's like, what do you see as the next frontier in the market?
Well, when we were just broadly talking here, we talk about the term soft adventure. That's the outdoor stuff. That's
Yeah.
the stuff that we're talking about. That's the stuff we've always promoted for them. It's growing that. We've talked about photo video work. That's a huge part. I mean, people being able to aspirationally view themselves in a
photos.
scenario.
Photos.
I mean, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
So that's a destination development
Yep.
thing too, is building up your video or your visual assets.
Right, yeah, exactly. And so a broader range of assets, that's always a challenge for a small DMO.
Do you have access to our media library?
I don't know.
Connect with Sawyer on that.
Yeah.
Same here.
Because we have ones that we use, because you're their agency, on our media library, as long as we get credit, you can use some of
Sure,
those
yeah,
assets too.
Perfect. The live marketing, event marketing, I mean, that's stuff that takes work from individuals, volunteers, business owners, but seeing that grow, I mean, we see it so much on the South Dakota side of things that drives so much on that end of things. I would love to see that on this side of things. Being able to grow that and work in conjunction with the organizations that do that, we would love to promote that to get the outside people that are coming for events.
We'll put some of this in there, send it to you, let you
Yep.
wordsmith it
Yeah.
and clean it up, okay?
Yep.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. We're 2 minutes past our goal deadline. All right, public relations. You cannot afford to buy any major space in any publication, but having a travel writer write about you can get you 3 pages in a publication. So at your budget level, y'all need to spend every penny you've got with the agency. And so your PR strategy is to totally tailgate on what Wyoming Office of Tourism is. And they do have people, and they have a PR agency that's working every day placing stories, but you have to tell them. The perfect example is Torrington didn't have anybody telling Wyoming Office of Tourism about Bread Doctor, so the PR firm didn't know to be promoting Bread Doctor for travel stories. So y'all have to feed the content to Wyoming
And
Office of
you
Tourism.
Feed that to Sawyer, and then he'll share it with our PR and media team. Or if it's something you want to pursue further, we can set up a meeting with you guys and the PR and media, so they can tell you what it is they're looking for, what kind of storylines they're looking, because they're pitching every day to Forbes and Outside Magazine and Travel and Leisure, and but we are always getting
And your
pieces
media,
that want to come out.
your media folks still send out the leads occasionally that we're looking for food articles or something like that. Do they still do that?
They do that on the industry newsletters sometimes,
Yeah.
but a lot of it now is they'll come to us and they'll be like, do you have any good stories or anything from your area? The other day somebody
all get
asked me
those?
the best place for lobster in Wyoming.
You all get those.
That's my
Okay,
response.
all right, we need to hook you up with these newsletters, because what will
Yes.
happen is, we have a writer looking for lobsters, best place, or we're looking for ghost stories and ghost towns, and that's where you go, we got one. You don't say lobsters.
Outside Magazine is sending a writer to do challenging trails on their mountain
Yeah,
bike.
you don't need to respond to every one of them, you respond to 2 a year that match you, bam.
We used to be pretty active in the Hero stuff, the hire reporter stuff, where we had reporters actively seeking stories. When I first started, public relations was all about fam tours. You would get feature editors to come out and they would explore everything that you have. And so then they would, where you're talking about public relations, you can't buy that space. We used to track that.
That's
value.
right.
Not
That's
so much
right.
anymore, but.
So with the Office of Tourism, can that work from the bottom up? Like, locally, I write outdoors articles and publish them in our newspaper. I hit every trail in the vicinity and, talk about it, how to get there. And
Every time you write a story like that, you send it to Sawyer.
that's what I was wondering. Great.
Absolutely.
Yep, I just got done writing one
With
today.
photography and.
Well, having worked with various small DMOs and CVBs, like the people that live and are active in the communities, sometimes they are great content creators that want to do it for no other reason than they love to do it, and it's free.
Resource, yeah.
And you should leverage that stuff to the hilt, because it's great stuff most of the time.
It can get you $1 million of coverage for a tiny little bit of money.
And just a heads up for more particularly you, when we promote internationally, we actually promote with a 4-state region. So we work with North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, and Idaho, and we promote as the Great American West. So we have itineraries and stuff that have where we're in the Black Hills and coming into Wyoming, and so it wouldn't look weird to us for something with like, hey, you're in Deadwood, come over. In fact, there was a influencer that came into Utah the other day, and we don't even know how all this panned out. Next thing you know, this big influencer is up at one of our fossil quarries in Wyoming, and Utah paid for them to come on this little, and we're like, sweet.
Yeah, I mean, to draw this arbitrary line, I mean, the Black Hills sits on the border.
Yeah.
So to draw this arbitrary line, when you have 4 million visitors that come to the Black Hills, we should be able to leverage that being adjacent
Yes,
to the
that's
Black
what I'm
Hills.
trying to say, yeah.
Exactly, and so,
The motel out here, there's a master plan involved in it with apartments and everything. Our development out there is known as Black Hills West.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so that's public relations. In-market promotions is basically the river of money that's flowing through you. How do we get them to stop? Because you could drive this highway 10 times and still miss something that's right there that you didn't understand. And I do think that when you have, fortunately, the Red Onion Museum has a lot of visibility along the road of what's there. It's the Anna Miller that worries me, because just if a sign says Anna Miller Museum, it's not really telling me what's the experience, you know? It's not.
And there's construction going on too right now, but it was kind of difficult to see. And
Yeah, a lot of it too, just like it says, not just Adam Miller. I mean, they got Wyoming Calvary.
It's the homesteading story.
Yeah.
It's really the story of the settlement of the
They could have a
state is right
submarine.
there. Yeah.
We like the guy that was decapitated.
And so, and had his head stitched on backwards. And
But
his
it's
name was
also,
Diamond Slim.
it's also,
Did you see the 2-headed calf? And
Yeah.
but there's also
One
like,
was seen in the state.
But there's
Yeah, Amy was
also,
like, the two-headed calf's starting to get a little old for me.
Wait,
Never thought you'd say that.
do you guys know that there's a poem that goes along with the two-headed calf? It's actually really sweet, and I really want our museum
Okay.
to market it so
Okay.
bad, but because they're using him as a shelf right now, it breaks my heart. But there is a whole poem that goes with the
Okay.
two-headed cows. You should look it up,
All right, okay.
and then you'll never look at it the same.
Yeah.
You'll probably shed a tear every time you see it.
Okay. But we have to have, and this is where you're gonna feel my pain here, but we gotta have directional signage, informational stuff, and work. You know, if you had a bigger budget, we'd use terms like geofencing and all, but I don't think there's any money for that.
Or if you had signal.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
what
Start
regions do you actually
Fiber.
consider?
I'm sorry?
What regions of the country would you actually consider?
For
trying to-
marketing?
Yeah.
Oh, your drive market, with just in-state and close by. You don't have money to go to, I mean,
Well, we've done it before, which basically it was like everything east. I mean, you know, North Dakota, Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, because we had a lot of people coming out for hunting from those states. A lot of people coming out for rally with those states. And we used to have couples that would come every year and stay in the little mom and pop motels, you know, and things like this. You know, it's the older demographic now of the bikers is
Right.
dying off, you know, so there's less of that coming in. Ever since COVID.
Y'all
There's a lot
have-
less, because we used to get people from Germany, Sweden, all of Europe, Canada, a lot of them, you know, and they would come right on through our little town and our county,
right,
because they loved the ride.
right.
And now that is kind of hurt because of COVID.
You've got really nice hotel in Newcastle and a really nice hotel in Upton. And if we can just target people that will pay to stay in those hotels, we can get your budget over $200,000.
That's one of the reasons we were targeted, because bikers travel light. They come with a credit card, you know,
Yeah.
and they want, you know,
Yeah.
they want to, and the older people, they want a bed, they don't want a tent,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So
And-
that's how well we focused, but before, as far as our advertising.
right. And you do have, I mean, last night, on a Sunday night, we actually had a choice of 3 or 4 places to eat. And, you know, and they were good choices, you know? And so the combination of food and lodging is good, and tying it to some attractors, I don't think we have a tough challenge here. I'm not worried
How
about
come
it.
it feels that
And I
way?
think we have a good foundation with our.
Yeah.
because
But,
we used to
but in
do
answer to your
public-
question, when you've got empty rooms, you're never finished plowing the field you're in. We don't need to look for new fields. We don't need to be looking for new geographic markets. These
Okay,
are
well, I'll say
limited.
that's where we did before through different entities, is, you know, market in those areas, because that's where we knew the people were coming from,
Yeah.
you know, so I
It's like, we do not need to promote Sturgis Week because we know we're gonna pack it out. you
Oh,
know?
no, we
We
pack
focus
it
on
as,
when we don't have business, and that's what we
yeah,
promote.
we packed it as off the beaten path,
Yeah.
you know, you get rid of the crowds, get rid of the
Light
costs.
up and Weston.
You know, instead of getting
Now-
a $10 beer, you can get a $4 beer, you know.
Now, Sturgis Week, I would be totally promoting why those people wanna come back other times of the year. It's like you have a captive audience that's clearly here, so why would they wanna come back during other times of the year? But I wouldn't do anything to promote more people coming then.
You know, isn't there like a new trend with Sturgis too, that there's bikers coming more ahead and behind it, like they want to ride out here, but not necessarily the crowds in Sturgis?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I used to ride a bike. It was always the week of. It was always referred to as amateur hour because there was a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing. And you put them on a bike, and it was scary for
Everybody.
actual people that knew what they were doing. And so
Yeah.
people that really want to ride, they'll show up a week before, or they'll stay a week
Exactly.
after.
Yep.
The week of is more of like, I'm here to party and see
Yeah.
events and
Oh,
concerts.
it's a
And
Yeah.
even the employees that are working the bars and stuff aren't from Sturgis or from the surrounding areas. They're
Yeah.
people that they ship in. Now the week before and the week after, those are locals.
Yep. You know, and that's what we try to do downtown with, you know, Newcastle. Well, during the summer, we got a lot of people that ride out from
Right.
Gillette. And they'll stop in here for the hit this bar, you know, here to hit this restaurant. And they got a little path that'll come right, take them right back home.
Yeah.
and we bring them year round. I mean, well, not year round, but you know, all during the summer.
Well,
They
there
go
are
come
people
through.
that they go and they stay at the Flying V.
Yep.
And I mean, they stay there for a week, and that's their base of operation, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
And they do it year after year after year. Same people.
So we do bring them in from, you know, within the state and from out of the state.
From out of the state too,
And,
yeah.
and I like to see it built back up again, because like I told you, I've seen a lot of it drop off since COVID.
COVID did a lot, yeah.
So that
In
really
terms
works.
of marketing and advertising over the next 3 to 5 years in this plan, do we need to put in there that at what point they need to look at a new brand, a new refresh, a new message, a new image? Or are they kind of solid with what they've got and just need to keep putting more out?
The new store. This is the one-stop shop. We have a pharmacy. We have a bootlegger's liquor. The deli, the food that you can get at a lunchtime is so amazing. The coffee shop. Certain Friday mornings, there's 30 people sitting here in all these chairs. This is the hub for people to come and visit, have their coffee, have their donut. It's amazing what this area has done. Totally amazing.
Do we need to put in there that at what point they need to look at a new brand, a new refresh, a new message, a new image? Or are they kind of solid with what they've got and just need to keep putting more out?
No, I mean, all the distinguishing characteristics that we've talked about to say this is why someone should care, this is why someone should visit here. I think those all make sense. An arbitrary brand refresh for no other reason than an arbitrary brand refresh, I don't know that that moves anything. It's getting the message in front of more people, and that's where the budget that you talk about is well, if we're growing the budget, we are exposing our message to more people that they haven't seen it before. That's how we fill the funnel, versus we aren't re-educating the same audience to give them a new reason why they should care. It's getting to a new audience that's never paid attention or hasn't seen it before.
Yeah.
I think
Well, I
the
think-
brand originally came about because of COVID funds, right? That wide open Weston was kind of to fit
So it's
that
fairly
funding
new.
model.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
not something that's been
But I
in
think
place
it-
for
it's
30 years. Or
Perfect for us anyway.
Okay. Do you guys have as far as the state goes, a destination planning map program or app?
I need a distant, like to create a map for
Well,
you?
look, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Up there at Sturgis, it wasn't, I forgot which one it was. One of the big parks up there. But anyway, they tried to get their own chamber and everything, and they came to us as the Travel Commission one time. And I myself joined it as far as the bar. And how you say, biker friendly. So here's this biker 5 states away. He says, all right, what's the best routes? And all of a sudden it pops up from there to Sturgis. It would pop up biker friendly in this motel, this bar, this restaurant, this, whoever advertised with them, all right, and joined their chamber. And so it would plan their trip for them. You want to drive 200 miles a day or you want to drive 500 miles a day? And it would plan their trip for them. It would bring them into all these little destinations, all right, tell them where the best places to stay, the best places to eat, you know, and plan their route back home for them.
So we are getting ready to kick off in the next month an AI planning tool that will help people create an itinerary through the state of Wyoming. That information for that itinerary planning tool is being pulled off our website. So if a business wants to be part of that, they have to have a listing in our partner portal, which is free. And in that they can list stuff. However, we can't, as a state, can't market the best places to eat. We can only market, if you want a steak, here's the steakhouses. And so we offer that as far as a free, and that we're actually in the beta phase, right? Like literally, we're testing it right now, putting it in to see how it routes people through an AI kind of thing. And that is done through the state for free, but that's about the only thing. But we don't necessarily differentiate, like we don't have like a category that you're a biker friendly. I think we have pet friendly and group travel friendly would be the only.
Well,
Well, and it's
maybe
your job
interests.
as the Weston County Travel Commission. That is literally your job. What you're describing to exist is what we're trying to do. And so where you're talking about itineraries and things to do, and yes, you can use other organizations, and you let, like how you should be using the Wyoming Office of Tourism, that it is your job as the commission to, and our job as an agency, to promote and create those, whether it's an itinerary, things to do, attractions, attractors, all those things. That's that big picture. This is all what we're talking about, right?
More and more often, I would say one of the biggest requests we get right now is itinerary.
Right. Well, and where she's alluding to AI, that is the next evolution in marketing. To people are using AI to plan their lives, plan their trips, buy their groceries. And, that might be farther out for some people than it is for other, but, where it was like, well, we used to focus on 2 or 3 keywords and that's what we wanted to be from a search engine optimization standpoint. We now need to have whole conversations that's backed up by content on your website that relates to how people are traveling and booking their trips.
But what I would do is create a biker-friendly itinerary for Weston County and have that on your website.
But I also see where you could combine something like that, biker-friendly type thing with like wide open Weston. Because bikers love that wide openness, for instance.
And they like getting off the
And
interstate.
I think if you find the hunter, the fisherman, whatever it is, with that whole idea of the wide open Weston, and you combine those ideas.
Guess what? We're in tactics. We're in tactics here about the strategy.
Yeah.
See, there's the
Down a
difference.
tactical rabbit hole, yeah.
But all great things.
Yeah, it's all great things, and we're excited because we've got you thinking
And
about
you've
all
got
the
such passion here.
possibilities.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
So now I was over here doing some math. So we're $40,000 shy of our goal of $200,000. And the way we get there, it's that one person who always calls at the wrong time.
The lottery.
Uh-huh.
Millions.
I'll have this on silent.
Mr.
The
Likely.
million
So
dollar one is hasn't been won in 6 months.
if we could, half of the year, if we sold 30 more rooms a night, we get to $200,000. I mean, that's assuming you're getting about $100 a night for a room.
That's about what they're running right now.
So there it is. I mean, we're 40,000 shy. You're getting 4 pennies of tax. So if you're hitting $100, every time you sell a room, you're getting $4 into your budget. Okay, so we need to sell 10,000 rooms at that rate. And then if we sit down and divide that by 8 months out of the year, just assume 4 we won't get any. And so if we said, well, 8 months out of the year, it comes out to about 25 to 30 rooms a night. And some you could hit 50 or 60, and others you'll hit 10, And so it's not crazy. It's not out there. And we just need to be very focused and really, support the agency and going after this. Okay? And then under product enhancement and product development, we've actually been talking about that all along today, and you've given us what we need. And so what Darren and I can do while Amy's driving us today is we can bang this out in the car and get this right back to you as a draft for y'all to look at. And once we get this plan down and y'all tell us what you want us to leave in and what you want us to take out, and y'all vote to approve it, then you're gonna have the live PowerPoint, and it's your plan, and we'll hallmark every page as board approved, version 1, October of 25. And then once a year, you go back and look at it, and you say, well, we finished that, and we did that, and we update it, and you just update it, and then you change the date to version 2, and keep going. Okay, so it's down and dirty. It gives you, we can even make some recommendations for you on product development funds and things, and I think some directional signage is in there.
How much will they be eligible for, Amy? Are we talking 30,000?
Yeah, we
From
talked
our
about it.
previous meeting, yes.
30 or 40.
I thought it was 50.
45?
It's probably up in that.
Okay. $45,000 can move some needles.
Put up a sign.
Yeah, so one thing you can think about, first of all, I want to say this is a great map. Super job. I mean, one of our recommendations is make it a nice map. You got it.
Yeah.
Check it out. But one thing you can think about is based upon everything we discussed here, and when you look at the draft, you'll need to be thinking about potential projects for development funds. And if you agree that, taking advantage of your existing visitors, your business travelers, the in-market promotion, is that wayfinding signage? Is there some signage that should really get people to explore a little bit more? What does that look like? Where is it? You can be thinking about those type of things.
As you're growing as a trail destination, I'm a big believer in never reinvent the wheel. There's nothing that y'all will do that 100 other destinations haven't already done in the last few months. And so you just need to find out who they were and copy them. I have a destination in upstate New York. They have a big trail system. And so their agency came up with these great, it was almost like a 3x5 card that was a trail map of each trail, and they were laminated so they could get wet, and they had a hole punched in the corner, and they put them on carabiner clips. So you could have your trail map, just clip it on your belt, you could clip it on the handlebars of your bicycle and reference it, and it was a promotional thing, and it was a useful thing for use on their trails.
And you already have the maps in each one of those individual brochures.
Yeah.
You just make it on a different format, bam.
Yeah, because it's hard to take that big map on a bicycle.
Well, we have brochures. It's a 3 fold-out brochure.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Okay, it gives a history, a description, and a map. And that's, we got quite a few of those. It's going to take a little while to go
One of
through.
the cool things I love in Europe is, your little hotel key card envelope is almost every hotel you stay in, the tourism board does a wrap around it that you just glue to it, the little envelope, and it's a fold-out map of the area. So it's with your key card, so it's with you, and you just accordion it out, and there's your map attached to your key card.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we even got maps and brochures up there at the Welcome Center on the interstate, trying to pull them down from off the interstate, to get onto our scenic byway and come right into town. So,
and here's just a simple tip: whoever made those damn cookies, you need to take up to once a month minimum. You need if hopefully it's not one of you and it's from a business where you can buy them.
It's Joe's.
Okay.
And she also brought you boxes of donuts.
Okay. Well, what she needs to do.
No, seriously.
What she needs to do is regularly take a big basket of her donuts with a little sign and just go put it in the state welcome center. And
make sure all of the staff members there eat them and understand exactly where they came from. So everyone that stops and says, "Where can I grab something to eat?" they say, "Boy, Joe's."
Because the women that work at the state travel centers are your salespeople. And you need to give them a fan tour, you need to host them, you need to show them what you've got.
And the donuts
because all day long, they're up there with the ability to say, "Oh my gosh, if you go right south of here, there's these places to eat, you can do these
They had
trails."
the grand opening from over there at Aladdin, the exit. We furnished like 500 donuts for the grand opening, and they opened it.
Super
Well, by
smart.
the way, that's great social media content.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, no, that might be an interesting hook for them.
Okay, anything else? Because this is our goal now, is to get you a plan back as quickly as we can. And remember, this plan is not carved in granite. It is, at any point, the board can say, "Hey, let's add something to our plan," and you can put it in the plan.
I do have a question as far as hiring someone.
Yes.
What does that look like when we reach out, when we advertise?
Yes.
Is that from admin fund? How do we?
Yeah, Darren, you want to take that, because a lot of boards will, you don't have to provide your own benefits. A lot of times they'll work through the county and reimburse the county for the benefits. So the person reports to you and is your employee, but they have county benefits, and yeah, it's
And
kind of,
there are a
you
lot of
operate.
different models
Yeah.
throughout Wyoming, but yeah, when you reach that stage, there's a lot of advice that
Right.
a lot of places you can benchmark.
Yeah, it's hard squeezing anything out of our county. My
Right.
personal opinion.
Yeah.
Well, it's something that,
There's
you
other
know,
ways.
you're
There's
not
other
getting
models.
anything out of, you're reimbursing them for everything.
It's not gonna get better.
What's that?
It's not gonna get better.
I know it's
Yeah.
not. I know it's not.
Yeah, and so, we like to, our desire is for you to have an employee. I mean, that's the best thing, because they have very focused direction and can move and go.
Right. It's like the same for TDG as well.
Yeah, it's always hard when you contract with someone, because, you know, you lose control.
So I have the county's economic forecast we had done by the Wyoming Business Alliance.
Yes, sir.
Who should I email it?
Did I give you my business card?
I don't believe so.
Thank y'all for coming.
Someone says it's your